Right now, it's always welcome time to bring in our next guest, Christine Gevert. Christine, of course, from Crescendo. And Crescendo is back to putting on shows for us to enjoy throughout the tri-state region. And they've got a couple coming up right now. Let's welcome in Christine. Good morning on this rainy morning, Christine.
Good morning, Marshall. Thank you for having me.
Well, you're back in action, and you've got a couple of shows coming up, October 29th at St. James Place in Great Barrington, and then October 30th at the Trinity Church in Lakeville, an Italian concert. Let's talk a little bit about this concert.
Yes, so contrary to what we normally do with chorus and instruments, this time our concerts will be just the orchestra. And it's Crescendo period instrument players, a Baroque chamber orchestra, and one of the fun parts is that it features several soloists in their instruments. They are specialists and wonderful players, and the form of the concerto grosso, this name means that the music alternates between the soloist and the complete group, and this dialogue basically, and that got born in the 17th century. This got established, and then there are very kind of popular composers, almost like pop stars of their era, like Antonio Vivaldi or Arcangelo Corelli, and in the realm of the trumpet, Giuseppe Torelli and Tommaso Albinoni. We know these names, perhaps, or if you don't know them, that's fine too. Those were really the great hits of those times, and they wrote very popular music. And as well, contrary to what we generally do, this wasn't sacred music. It wasn't played at churches, but it was played in other situations. What you perhaps associate with is these very festive and uplifting and kind of wonderful ceremonials, but also festive and light moments of celebrations. You typically will hear some of these concerti at Christmas. So if you come to the concert and think Christmas or just, I don't know, this reminds me of this very festive moment in my life where my parents played some very kind of beautiful, uplifting music. That's it. And this whole first set of 4 concerts that Crescendo presented has been really aimed at this. Let's really be light and lift up our spirits. We really need it after this pandemic, and when we come together again. And just for anybody who hears us, we are all vaccinated. We're playing with masks. Even our natural trumpet players wear masks and bell covers, and they have magnetic masks where when they insert the embouchure, it opens like a tiny slit, and it pulls magnetically to the embouchure. And when you pull the trumpet out, and when they're not playing, the mask closes by itself. So how fantastic is that? So we can do this safely. Our audience members also will be showing the vaccination card at the door, and we'll all be masked. And we're also not filling our venues, both of them, to capacity, and both of them have air that doesn't recirculate. So we're doing this as safe as we can, and at the same time we want you to have a great time. And Marshall, the response has been wonderful. People have been buying tickets, and we also have a new website, and so people have been buying tickets online, crescendomusic.org. We've used the time to revamp and renew our website, crescendomusic.org. So I can tell you this, as of today, our online sales locally here for Lime Rock are sold out. We have a handful of tickets, a small number that we will sell at the door, starting on Saturday, October the 30th. This is this coming Saturday at 3:30 p.m. So first come, first serve. These are popular concerts, and we're not filling the venues to capacity. And St. James Place in Great Barrington is this wonderful venue as well. It's much bigger, very lovely. And there we have more tickets. It's a bigger venue, and it's at 7:30 on the Friday, the day before, Friday, October 29. Door opens at 7 as well, and we have some more tickets to purchase, both online and at the door.
So the website, once again, is now crescendomusic.org. That's crescendomusic.org. You know, you talk about there's some of these songs being played around the holiday time. One thing I found out for about 2.5 years, I was taping Sunday services, and no matter which church or I was at, when I finished taping and I left, I felt uplifted, and it finally came to me. It was the hymns and everything like that. It was that music that gave me that feeling, and you're absolutely right. We're coming out of, slowly, we're still in the pandemic, but we're on our way out of it, and people want to be out there. They want to be safe when they're out there, but they want to be entertained and get back into feeling like they used to feel.
Yeah, and you're so right about that. And you know what? Hearing this music also will bring us for a moment into this other realm, to Europe, to Italy. It literally will paint a picture in music. And of course, your mind goes wherever your mind wants to go. And this music will evoke both some memories and perhaps some new thoughts and feelings in you, and that's the beauty of music. It's not scripted. Where's your mind go? And there's no text here, but what I can assure everybody, it's easy listening, but very, very uplifting. I will play an organ concerto too on a chamber organ, and these concerti were played in Handel's big concerts in London, in a theater, not in a church. And so there, the organ is very differently from how it's heard at church. It's just a playful, I would say almost gallant, elegant solo partner to the orchestra. We also have here for the first time was Crescendo Mandolino or mandolin, played by Hideki Yamaya. He will play the Vivaldi Mandolino concerto, which is somewhat similar to a guitar, but it's a wonderful piece. It's also gentle and lovely. We have a solo Baroque cello sonata with wonderful cellist from New York City, David Bakanjian, and we have several pieces with 1 and 2 trumpets, and those are really to be they're so festive. When the brass comes in, you feel this oomph almost. Chris Belushi, whom many of you have heard from Boston, and Brian Kenner from also the New York City greater area. And we have a new violin soloist, a relatively young New York City-based player, Jeremy Reiser. We're very excited to hear him in a violin solo concerto too.
You know, you sound super excited as well. So this obviously is something that's giving you a lot of energy as well.
Oh, believe me, that's all we want to do. We want to be able to do our profession, and while there's a lot of behind the scenes to put on this music that nobody really knows of, so there's a lot of desk work and organizing and fundraising, but we want to play, all of us musicians. And I was talking with one of the musicians who really talked to me about depression, and the depression he went through in this past year, and I know of many, and I would say to a degree including myself, because for us, not being able to do our professions, period, that's what we've trained, that's what our life is all about, to play live. The live moment with other people is just such an important moment, and that's, I think, what our audiences appreciate, doing something live, being with other human beings in this moment together, and making something happen, something beautiful. That's the privilege of our profession too. So that's why we're in this as musicians. But we also greatly missed it. Not only our audiences. So it means as much for us as performers, and I'm very happy to, in this concert, yes, I lead, but it's a collaborative ensemble, and so I'll be leading from the keyboard, co-leading, actually, with the other musicians. So I'm very happy to be performing myself.
All right. Well, once again, for people listening, Crescendo is back with a couple of upcoming performances on October 29th at 7:30 at St. James Place in Great Barrington, and also October 30th at 4 p.m. Trinity Church in Lakeville. For more information and tickets, crescendomusic.org. That's their new website, crescendomusic.org. And just in the last minute or so, what else? Do you have other things planned for the next several months, or do you kind of set these up as they come up?
Yes, we have, more concerts planned. Well, we have not done a set a date. We have a big choral concert with orchestra with Polish and Eastern European music called Music Across Borders. That's a big concert plan. That's planned for next spring. We have several smaller concerts with Latin American music, with voices, with singing Baroque and also some contemporary. We are actually waiting to work with a tool that will help us better manage the risk of mainly rehearsing indoors together with the singers as well as our audiences. It's a tool that was developed by an international COVID response team of scientists, including somebody from NASA. It's not endorsed by NASA, but this tool will help us determine when and where to rehearse and how to rehearse. And so we are also still impacted by the pandemic and having to be a little more careful to plan. So we've waited a little bit before setting dates. So I will be, though, in touch soon, and we'll let you and our audiences know when our next concerts will be. They will be. No worries.
All right, Christine, thank you for joining us this morning, and break a leg with these concerts coming up the next couple of days.
Thank you so much, Marshall.
Take care, Christine.
Bye-bye.
It's nice to have the familiar voice of Christine Gevert joining us this morning, and Crescendo back performing concerts in our area.